Oh shit! I need to open the chat yet.
Are you still using your laptop for that?
Yeah, I mean I'm on my laptop right now.
Oh, okay.
What's the stupid chat link?
Stupid chat link.
Dude, chat. I'll show you. Yeah, chat.rescreen.words.
Words and things.
Words and stuff. Maybe Mel was supposed to be here last week when we kind of canceled.
Oh, yeah, that was her off week.
Yeah. Her on week.
Her whale.
Well. Look at this sexy guy. What's up, Brad?
Oh my god.
Are you a hustler? Is that why it says that?
Yeah. Where's this light coming from? I don't see an underlight trying to highlight you. What the fuck is that?
Well, I can turn on ray tracing, which I have off.
Try
And
it.
see if he looks better.
Yeah, because that bounce lighting does not exist.
No. So this is ray tracing, and it's running at 30 frames now, which I think is. I'm so spoiled by 60 frames now, dude. I'm
Worthless.
like, it is like this is just the
That's
ugliest.
That's not even full ray tracing. That's just like global illumination.
Yeah. Well, yeah. This is like Xbox version of ray tracing, so it's like. I was watching the Digital Foundry on this, and they were talking about like.
Go ask Mom for.
Like they were showing off the differences between like ray tracing and non, because they both they're both like 4K.
Mm-hmm.
But it was like 30 frames is just unplayable at this point in time. So like,
yeah,
turn the ray tracing off because it makes almost no difference. I'm like, yeah.
Bring, bring.
Oh, that's you.
That's me. But that was like literally instant the moment that I pressed enter.
This guy, what does he want? This loser. Oh.
Oh, it's the show that I am on.
Oh, the stream is live. Oh. So there's kids in this game, right?
No.
Like
but they have adult heads.
Well, it's like all the kids are like the same kind of skeleton model, right? Mm-hmm. But it's like the way that I don't know, it's like
they're
I'm
like
gonna
scrunched.
say this. I'm gonna say this, and it's gonna be like because that's what they are, Clay. But I'm gonna be like they just look like little adults. Like they don't look like kids to me. They look like somebody just took the model of like the regular adult pedestrian and just like scaled it down. And of course you could be like, that's what a child is, you retard. But it's like, it's like they just don't look right to me in this game.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
Well, that's what children are, retard.
Yeah, I know. And it's like you could just be like,
no, I totally get what you mean. Like
that's what children are, you idiot. And I'm gonna be like, no, but that's not what I mean.
Like kids have a distinct skeletal structure that do not match adults. And not only that, but you haven't lived long enough to nonchalantly walk like that, you little shit.
Yeah, so like it's like, yeah, I don't know.
What is this, like crack fiend walk right there?
It's like he's doing his like D'Lo Brown, if you remember that guy. Yeah.
Like, and how come it's only the black guy? That's racist.
This looks so weird to me.
Yeah,
kids
like
in this game just look so strange.
I mean, in some ways the game looks great in some aspects, and then in others and different angles, it's just like, dude, I love
the like the environment.
Mm-hmm.
Like this, like I'm getting like Final Fantasy VII vibes. Like there's not even like a sky here. It's just like another layer of the city above you, and I think that's awesome. Or like the way this whole thing is structured here, like the design of Night City is really cool. Like I think it's really pretty.
But the fact that you can't even go into every one of these buildings is
these are I mean, it's basically like
it's just geometry for a city.
Yeah, and it looks cool though. Like they did a really good job on the city itself. The people are not the best looking. Like, I don't know.
Hey, at least they're following you.
Hey man, can I get in on that? What are you eating? Yeah, they like react to you.
I guess in the future, a lot of people don't afford shirts. Hey, how much do clothes cost in the Matrix?
How much do clothes cost in the Matrix? Yeah, she's very like plastic looking.
Yeah. Drinking.
She's rocking like a cassette tape necklace.
This is what humans do with liquids.
Future.
You just put a cup away in your back pocket? Is that what you just did?
Look at this. Ah, shit, I just healed. Like, look at this ad.
I mean, you could tell, like, several pieces of artwork were just done really well.
Yeah.
But I wonder if that's, like, at the very beginning of production when morale was high.
He's just gangsta again. Like, I must be on his path. Like, he goes around the block or something like that.
Yeah. He's like, I'm just checking out my street corners.
What's up, playa?
I am purposefully walking.
Oh, I totally, where was I? I was where, like...
Junkies.
I was in this area with, like... There was this homeless woman who was peeing in, like, an or like next to this dumpster.
What the fuck?
But she was peeing standing up. And I was like, oh, this is fantastic.
It's just like real life.
Oh, where is...
What is this, Fremont Street?
I know, right? What is exploration? Oh, that's mine. Where was that? There were hookers, and it was like...
Hookers?
It was in the place with all the hookers, and I don't know any... Like, I do not know where I'm going in this city. So it's like, I use, like, quick travel and waypoints for everything. And it's like, oh yeah, it's over here. And I'm like, I don't know where that was. I was picking up missions. I have no clue where that. But yeah, I was like, I wonder if I like visited where the hookers were. Like, if they're still...
And hookers are just peeing, standing up?
No, it was this homeless woman.
Oh, that's better.
She's more weird looking kid.
Dude, that's a full adult facial structure.
That's what I'm saying. It's like they're using the adult like head skeletal, system, and it's like they just kind of like like that. Yeah. Oh wow, I didn't know you could slide in this game. What the hell?
It's almost like Bulletstorm
slide. How weird does this kid look? I don't know. It's just weird to me.
He looks like a Chad.
Like a Chad or a Kyle.
Yeah. Gonna go check out the latest Hot Topic trends.
Yeah, I'm gonna look up real quick. I'm gonna try to find this homeless one.
My God.
Cyberpunk. Where are hookers?
Would you like to turn off safe search?
Literally, where to find the prostitutes?
I think Grand Theft Auto has spoiled our gamers of this generation.
Where is this? Oh wait. This is it?
All right, we're at 5-minute mark. Do we start the countdown?
Yeah, if you want to.
Yeah, okay.
Should be Japantown. Let's.
Yeah, we got. Dude, 2K22 looks pretty awesome.
Yeah, it looks a hell of a lot better than Battlegrounds from last year, and I mean 2K20 was a disaster.
Yeah.
Huh. Where are you? The F. I'm lost. I'm lost.
Dude, they got Randy Savage in here.
He's in like every one of them.
It almost feels weird. Like, how does one go from having a persona and calling it whatever to WWE owning the rights to those kind of things when it's literally your likeness in real life?
It's because of the way his contract worked with them.
Yeah.
Is this where the hookers are?
Your wife's probably like, what the fuck is he searching up?
Pardon me, sir. I'm looking for the hookers. All right, so where is north? Other way. All right, let's. Hey there! Look at this cowboy.
What's up?
What up?
Oh my god, are those hot
Yeah.
pants?
He's so hot right now.
Oh my goodness. I don't think that the gender-specific torsos and bodies like just align up to just females.
Joy tool.
Because that guy's glutes were amazing.
Check out the butt on that one.
Oh my god.
He must.
Are those denim hot shorts?
Wait, if I go according to
what's up, Wasabi? Thanks
What's
for
up,
joining
Wasabi?
us. We got about 2 minutes left.
Yeah.
And then we're ready to talk about all this game news that's about to come up.
Well, some game news.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try to go find.
I can't
Go
believe
to
it.
the hooker store if I can find it.
Hookers aisle 2. I can't believe Evo is gonna give the cold shoulder to one of its biggest.
It's not even Evo, it's Nintendo.
Oh, Nintendo is just like, nah.
Nintendo didn't want to have Evo participate.
All right, that is one thing that GTA 4 was a lot better at than this game. When you crash into something, you actually crash into it.
Yeah.
Like you had
this game is I am so bad at driving in this game, it's insane. No entry. Can I please entry? Okay, maybe I'm looking for the wrong place, but it's like,
is it something that you have to unlock?
What, the hookers?
Yeah.
No.
Or at least a section of the map?
No, it's like, how do I get rid of this stupid waypoint? Whatever, it's fine. According to this map, it's in Japantown, which is where I am. So I'm just gonna cruise for a little bit, see if I can find the hooker store.
Und Hooker.
Hookers RS. If I can find Hookers RS, we're gonna meet again. Set sail for flavor. Oh, hey guys, how you doing? You don't see me. I'm out of here. Whatever. You guys do your own thing. I'm gone.
Wasabi says, I think they only come out at night.
Yeah, but are they on your map or anything?
I don't know. Maybe you have to have your stunner glasses on. See what I did there? No. Too old. No.
I don't know. I was like, I was telling Joe that it was like in the area. Oh, what's her face? Maybe that's it. Her face. Wakiko or something like that, or there's a lady
A lady.
that you take missions from.
Wasabi says he hasn't played this since launch, but they should just be hanging out on the street at night.
Wakako. It was, yeah, I don't know. How do I take this stupid thing off?
Just FYI, I have a hard stop at 2.
You have a hard stop at 2.
Yeah, yes, that's what.
It's like literally just said.
That's what I said.
You saw them outside Judy's apartment. I don't know where Judy is. I know where she works. Is that what you're talking about?
What?
Like Judy works at the club or something, right? Like Afterlife or. I'm still learning like where the hell everything is in this game. I don't know. I was telling Joe earlier, it's like I do not know the map in this game at all.
Just seems so everywhere.
It's like I said, they did fix the game. It's not,
is it like a multi-layered map where you can
so,
drive in highways above and below?
Yeah. Yeah, so like that highway right there, like this one up here, I can probably make my way to that.
Oh.
Yeah. It's great. Like I said, this.
Hey, Wasabi just followed. I guess he wasn't following.
Wow.
Wow. Well, that turned around from a positive to a negative in less than 3 seconds.
Wow, Wasabi.
He probably just didn't realize that he wasn't following anymore.
Wow, buddy. All right.
Thought I was already following. Yeah, we kind of purged the follow list because we had like a whole crap ton of bots at one point.
Yeah.
So
I should take care of that.
We said those who are dedicated would follow again, and lo and behold.
Joy to you. Is that what it's called? I'm gonna look up a different site. I want somebody to be like.
All right, we ready for this? Let's do this.
Man. I'm waiting on you, dude. I'm just looking up hookers in Cyberpunk. That's
Do you wanna? Not because we're like lacking production value or anything, but that is not a helicopter hat above Clay's head. Yeah. Spin it. All right, let's start this crap up. Let's do this. Time to go.
It's that time for the most interactive podcast on Twitch with your host Clay Daniel, our OG mod Clay, and yours truly on the switchboard. Coming to you from our live studio in Las Vegas, Nevada. It's Game News Live.
Okay. All right. Hi, everyone.
It says it's in West Japan.
So for those who don't know or are watching the replay, Clay is playing Cyberpunk 2078 now.
2079. 2078.5.
Yes, from all the different revisions and updates and patches. Now this is 2079. Happy New Year. But yeah, it looks, from what Clay has told me, this is actually working pretty well.
I didn't play it when it first came out because I saw all the, like all the drama and hey, this game's broken and blah, blah, blah. And so I didn't play it. So I bought it not at release. I bought it like shortly after because Best Buy, I'm assuming, was just trying to dump their stock. So I bought it brand new from Best Buy for $10.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, I'll buy it and just wait. Wait for them to get.
Was it a hard copy from Best Buy?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, it was a physical copy from Best Buy.
Dude, that's bargain bin prices. That's not even like 20 or 1999 platinum. You know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying.
Oof.
And I was like, it was $20 or it was $10, free shipping, and it's like the collector's edition with the steel book and all that stuff. And I was like, so I just put it in a storage bin and was like, I'll get to you when it's fixed. And then they did their announcement like 2 weeks ago, and I was like, cool, I'll check it out. And it was like, it's not a bad game.
Yeah.
Like, they did a good job fixing it. It's
But you know what sucks for CD Projekt Red is that none of this game currently has any subscription model to continue its life cycle.
But okay.
What the hell? Oh, you called
my
for a bicycle.
Yeah, like there's a button that just kind of like spawns your vehicle.
Oh. That's where we are in technology at 2077?
It's 2077.
Oh, so Alexa, please recall my Cybertruck.
Bring my bike to me. And then she's like, okay.
Yes, right away, as she murders AP pedestrians.
Yeah. The car just flattens like everybody in its path, and it's like, yeah.
It turns into Fifth Element. You currently have 1 point left on your. Oh crap! Stop murdering pedestrians, Alexa.
I'm so bad at driving.
All right. Let's get started this week with, I think this week we're going to be doing game releases again.
Oh, crap.
Yeah,
some game releases. You know what? Wasabi's, yes, I am playing on Xbox. This is the Series X.
I thought you were playing on PlayStation.
I am not.
Oh.
I primarily play, like, multi-platform games.
Yeah.
Like, if it's on both, I play on Xbox.
Because you have the Game Pass that you want to sandwich that in there?
Well, we're going to talk about Game Pass later in the show anyway. But, like, no, it's just, first, the easy thing, I like the controller better.
Oh, all right. What kind of controller is that? That's not stock.
This is not, no, actually, Brian gave this to me. It's like Xbox does their little, like, design lab
custom design lab thing, yeah.
He got me this, and I was like, "Oh, cool, thanks, man."
Oh, he's so nice.
I know, I love Brian. He's the best.
Love Brian.
And but yeah, so I was like, yeah. So most multi-platform games, like, I just like the controller better than the PS5 DualSense. So like, that's like the easy one right there. And then there's Xbox is just better. You know, it's like,
oh no,
sorry.
It's what it
sorry,
is.
Sony fans.
But. Well, that's cool. I thought you were going to play it on PlayStation 5, but it is what it is. I have still yet to start playing. Oh, it does have a crash animation.
Yeah, that was awesome. Like, first person, like, ah.
Yeah, because that made me cringe my butthole for a second. I was just like, what?
Like, woo, that tightened up my butthole a little bit.
Yeah. All right, so game releases. Let's talk a little bit about game releases while Clay navigates whatever the hell he's doing here.
We both, like, full disclosure, I am actively trying to find where the hookers are in this game.
Yeah, so we'll come back to you, Clay, when you find the hookers.
Yes, more on that later.
Oh, my God. How's the job on finding hookers? Horny!
Still looking.
All right, so first up on game releases this week, the long-awaited Assassin's Creed Valhalla is up, and more Ass Creeds.
This is actually DLC.
Yeah.
Dawn of Ragnarok. This is like the next big DLC pack for Ass Creed Valhalla, which is.
The more that we start looking into, or the more deeper we get into Assassin's Creed, the less historically accurate we're starting to get. You know what I mean? Like, this is now treading into the fantasy section of history, which I don't know when they started doing this, but I've never really got into any of the Assassin's Creed past Ezio. And that's literally like the first one, wasn't it?
No, Ezio started in Assassin's Creed 2, actually.
Yeah.
Which that's still one of my favorite ones. Actually, Assassin's Creed 2 is still my favorite in the whole series. Altair was the guy in the first one.
That's right. And that's actually like the first Assassin's Creed and the last one that I played to the very end. Because the very end
Ice Cream
boss,
one.
yeah, the very end boss was like almost treading into that whole fantasy thing. Not almost, it did, because he was like teleporting into different places at the very end, and I'm like, wait a second, we went from almost realistic to not.
Yeah,
And that was my biggest gripe about that game. It was because the gameplay just wasn't as fun as I thought it would be, but it was still something to do. And then after that, I was just like, nah, I'm
Ice Cream
okay.
one was, you know what? Like, I still say that game doesn't deserve all the hate it got. I think I found where they are.
Did you find the hookers?
Yeah, I found.
Here we go.
The purpose for the hookers, if you remember, I was talking about an alleyway. And there was. Let me see if I can just find it. Anyway, I'll point it out once I find it. But yeah.
Okay, so just to put some backstory into this, by the
flavor.
way, Cranky Pants is in the chat now, so I'm sure he's going to be interested if we can find some sort of octopus tentacle right next to the hookers.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, but anyways, like Clay literally saw, I guess, a homeless woman just standing and peeing on the sidewalk.
No, yeah, it was like in this little alleyway with like a dumpster. Look at all this crap. And it was like, and I was like, yeah, man, like I got to show you this game. This game's crazy. And then it was like, where was it? And I was like, it was in the area with all the hookers. And I was like, but I don't know where to find that. So, yeah, I think I went the wrong way.
Either way, that's pretty crazy that they fit that into the entire game.
Yeah. Like, why would that possibly need to be in this game?
There's a level of detail that we can appreciate, and then there's homeless woman peeing on the sidewalk that I'm just like, that's a little too realistic.
Yeah.
But yeah, Assassin's Creed Valhalla, the Dawn of Ragnarok DLC out this week. Check it out if you want. I haven't met a lot of gamers that still play Assassin's Creed. They're mostly like COD bros, but I'm an FPS guy anyway. So it is what it is. If you're interested, great, go get it. If not, move on to the next one.
Assassin's Creed is a little, yeah. I haven't played it since, what was the other? The one in France, Unity. That was the last one.
Yeah.
And it was like, that game was just awful.
Yeah, and then they started off with the mobile games or the handheld games, and I was just like, they're okay.
By the way, there's a Dreamy Keanu on screen right there, if you wanted to see him.
Oh, what? Hello, Johnny Silverhand.
Hey there, stud. How's it going? Actually, I think I have the, like, another costume for him.
His model looks different since the patch.
Perfect. I thought I had, like, Johnny Silverhand HUD elements.
What?
His model, I mean, he looks cleaner. It's still not the best. Gameplay. Is it under gameplay? I don't do that. It's controls. Whatever. I unlocked, so I have this like additional content thing, and it's like Johnny Silverhand photo mode, alternate appearance for Johnny Silver. So switch it up in the main menu settings. We're gonna do.
What is the alternate appearance? Like shorter hair, more *90s?
I haven't even
Keanu?
seen it. I don't even know. I haven't seen it. So I'm going to bounce to the main menu real quick and reload it. Because in The Witcher 3 had that too. They had like alternate costumes for like Triss and Yennefer.
Yeah. Oh, Yennefer. Give me that humpback. Oh, have you still not seen The Witcher on Netflix?
No.
So, in the lore, Yennefer does have like a humpback, right? In the very beginning, like her lore story, her entire story is the fact that she was disfigured and she had a humpback, and then she turned, like the magic turned her into this amazing looking woman now, and now she's desirable.
Again, and this is part of my problem with The Witcher. Oh, look at this stud.
Creative liberties, is that what you're about to say? Yeah, see, that's 90s, early 2000s Keanu.
Look at this sex machine right here.
My goodness.
Hell yeah.
Oh, and he's got that side pixie.
I'm keeping this on.
So
There we
hot
go.
right now.
No, so again, this goes back to my problem with The Witcher storytelling. I played all 3 games, and I never heard anything about her being a humpback or anything.
Yeah. Yeah. I figured that might have been something that either lives in the books or is part of just the show story. But I straight up told Cranky Pants, I'm like, I don't care if Yennefer's a humpback or not. She was fine as hell. I prefer old humpback Yennefer. But let's go on with let's go on with 2K22.
2K20 WWE 2K22. It hits different.
It definitely looks like
this is where it
different.
was. It was right here. She's not here now. I'm gonna skip time. We're gonna go back. Let's go.
You're gonna try to spawn her.
I'm gonna try to spawn this homeless woman who just sits here and pees on this dumpster nonstop.
Oh my god.
Like, this is where it is. Maybe I'll walk around for a second, come back. Who knows?
Do people just spawn randomly or what?
I don't even.
Oh.
But yeah, but it is literally right here. Swear down. So I was like, but yeah, WWE 2K22. I don't know about you, Joe. Once upon a time, a long time ago, when I was a kid, I grew up in the 80s because I'm old. Used to be a huge pro wrestling fan.
Yeah.
Like, I still enjoy whenever I see it. I just don't make an effort to watch it. And usually what I watch now is like AEW, which is like that other, there's
the
like
alternate.
WWE, there's like Impact Wrestling, and then there's AEW, which is like the newer one. I've been watching that more and more lately because I think the actual wrestlers they have are more entertaining. But that's good. But like, so WWE games historically are not good. Like, they are broken messes that 2K Games just rushes out the door.
And then they're just updated a little bit for the roster.
Yeah, barely. So like, me and Cinderkin, who's also a big pro wrestling fan, we used to like, we would hang out, play video games, and watch like old wrestling. Like the WWE network has like everything, right? So it's like we would just watch like old 80s and 90s stuff.
Right.
And then like we would play these games when they came out, and we played like 2017, 18, 19, and we actually skipped 20 because of the horrible reviews on it. But it was like every year it was literally just barely a roster update, barely,
and a few features here and there.
A few features, like for the most part, they wrote a new like story campaign, so you could like create a wrestler or like manage a wrestler, something like that. But like, the roster was barely ever changed. It was the same skins year after year. And actually, we found a bug in the Royal Rumble mode that they kept. Like, and this just shows how lazy those game, devs are. It was the same bug every year.
Yeah. Like,
we could reproduce this one bug every year, and it was like,
well, that's how things become features. I mean, Cranky Pants knows.
Yeah, right.
He's a software developer, so he knows. Consistency.
So he's lazy. Yeah, yes. But it's like it was just annoying. And so 2K20 came out, and it was a disaster. If you remember that, it was a broken mess of a game.
Yeah.
So they actually skipped last year, and they released that kind of arcadey game called 2K1 Battlegrounds.
Yeah.
Which was also just a phone-in. Nobody cared.
Well, it seems like there's always like a roulette of, hey, let's pick a different game. Is it going to be cartoony or realistic? Is it going to be arcadey or is it going to be realistic? Is it going to be this? It's like NFL does the exact same thing. They either do Blitz or Madden. They either do this or like arcadey or not. It doesn't really matter. If the gameplay sucks ass, no one's going to want to play it.
I get it. I'm just saying, it's like, but these games are broken messes.
I mean, I'll be honest with you. I enjoyed myself a Blitz or an NBA Jam. I enjoyed those games.
I love arcadey games like that.
Yeah. But it's just
NBA
like
Jam. I don't play basketball games. I played NBA Jam.
Yeah. From downtown.
Boom chakalaka.
He's on fire. Oh, that was
NBA
great.
Jam, Blitz. Actually, there was NHL Hits, if you remember that.
Yeah.
It's like those games are actually really fun. I don't play like the realistic sports, but even wrestling games, even if they're a more simulation realistic kind of thing, I would think they could be fun.
Right. By the way, hey, what's up, Joe Dubs? Thanks for joining us from YouTube.
Yep.
Yeah, we were talking about 2K22 or WWE 2K22 releasing out this week. Those of you who are interested, we have a couple of buddies that even run tournaments. You know what I mean? So it's like, it's crazy. But I don't know how they're gonna take this game. Hopefully, it looks like they actually put a lot of effort into it, especially because we know the guy from Red Dragon Studios who did a lot of like the walk-in intros and stuff like that for them. But I mean, it looks top notch right now. I don't know how it might be gameplay wise. We'll wait for the ratings and the reviews.
Yeah, so Cinderkin gets these games every year, and the reason for that is for anybody who Joel and I and some people in the chat here, we live in Las Vegas, and Las Vegas actually has the 2K quality assurance team is in Las Vegas. So like,
oh yeah, that's right.
So we know people who work there, and the people that we endlessly nag about broken games, and they go, "Sorry, bro."
I mean, what else can they do? The game's out already.
We know, and the company says, "Yeah, we don't care.
Yeah,
release it."
While they're counting their money. Sorry.
Exactly. So, but because we have that kind of like, we know people who work at 2K games, we get mad discounts on games. Yeah. So we get these games every year because we can get them for like $20.
Does that change your unbiased review of these games at all? The fact that they're $20 for you? Usually,
okay. If you were to ask me my review of 2K19, not 20, which is a broken mess, 19, I would have gone, it's fun enough for $20.
Oh, I see what you mean.
And then if somebody, so that's
I see how you twisted that around. I see what's up.
But then if somebody was like, would you pay $70 for that? Because 2K wants to make everything $70 now. No. And it's like, absolutely
no.
That is a hard pass on $70. The new one, 2K22, we already have it lined up for next week because we got a cheap deal on it. I'll let you know how it plays.
Yeah.
I'm excited because I like wrestling games, but we'll see.
So Wasabi, side note from new releases, Wasabi is saying that the Nerd Junkies website, he feels like is mining Bitcoin in the background. And you want to know something? How can we do that?
Yeah. You know what, Wasabi?
Yeah.
Is that a thing? Because we should look that up.
Can we do that? Yeah. So the only reason why it's probably pinging your CPU is because this video right here in the background always plays. So that's why. Enjoy. Wow. Works on your phone as well. So mine away. Enjoy. Yeah. So
how many phone calls am I going to get here? Jeez.
Phone calls? Oh, from the game itself. Dude, you're still waiting for that lady to go.
I'm still waiting for that. Yeah.
If we get to that point, make sure you scream it out so that way I can swap over real quick.
Oh yeah. Oh,
is she there? Oh, there it is.
No, hold on. So I think this might be a dude, but the animation's just gonna keep on repeat. So it's
oh my god. Somebody has a UTI or something with the amount of peeing that this person's doing.
Oh, and then they're gone. Just watch.
What? What just happened?
And then, bam, out.
He peed himself out of existence.
Oh,
good God. That was amazing.
It. So, again, they did a good job on fixing this game, but there's still little artifacts like this that pop up, and I think that's awesome.
I just think
but the other day it was a female like the pet was like a female character, and she was just peeing all over the side of the dumpster, and then the animation just kept looping for like 10 minutes.
Was the character like
back around here? She was still there.
Was the character like trying to hold something that they clearly don't have as a female?
No, well, like, and you know what? Like, I got in there. I was like, can I like? I was trying to get in there, but it was like just hands covering everything. I couldn't see it.
Yeah. You know what's weird about Cyberpunk is that it definitely shows quality where they paid attention to some of it, but then you can clearly see where a lot of the other stuff just got left behind.
Yeah.
And that's where I think that's the difference between Rockstar and CD Projekt Red, is that Rockstar was just like, hey, if we have time or whenever it's ready, right? They didn't care about whether or not somebody was like rallying people.
Wait. We got a woman.
Oh, here we go.
Hold on. There we go.
Let's get that zoom in. Boop. Yep. I mean, Clay, don't assume gender here. I mean,
okay. I mean, you're right. This game is very fluid on gender.
Yeah.
Like anyway, so if I go,
oh god,
I scan. Can I get a? And
I mean, we only give you the top-notch production value here, okay? There you go. CD Projekt Red, Cyberpunk 2077.
If there's anything you need to know about Cyberpunk 2077, I'm showing it to you right now. Homeless women peeing on dumpsters, standing up. There you
Wasabi
go.
saying
10 out of 10.
Wasabi is saying, "Hey, record that next time."
Yeah. By the way, Zion9's in the chat. Hey Zion, how you doing?
Hey, I heard there were some nerds up in this here stream. By
the way, stream. You could also just pull a pun on the joke there, like, "Hey, nice stream we got going here."
Oh, I see what you did there.
Anyway, let's get okay. So WWE 2K22, I'll let you know. I'm gonna play it next week. I'll let you know.
Yeah. By the way, I don't know if anybody checks out that graffiti right next to it in the orange, but boobies.
Well, it's like, yeah, it is boobies. So I'm just gonna leave it right there. There you go.
Boobies on stream.
Yeah.
You heard it here, folks.
Oh, there is a lot of nudity in this game too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like a lot.
It wasn't like that. It wasn't like that one person who had to use camera mode on that one game. What's that game that just came out with?
Horizon or
yeah.
Or
Horizon, and then zoomed in on what's her face, and then clipped through the clothes and actually got to the texture of her chest. You didn't see that?
No.
So apparently they do texture her naked skin.
Oh, so it's not just like Barbie doll. Like
no.
Okay.
There's nips, there's everything, and I'm like,
okay,
someone had to sit there.
Why? Okay, as a character artist working at Gorilla, when they go like, Steve, where's her nipples? And then Steve goes like, she's fully clothed the entire game.
Yeah.
There is no option to remove her clothes. And
right.
then he's like, where are the nipples, Steve?
At this company, we're gonna need
Steve. If we have team players and we have unemployed people. So I like that. Which one are you, Steve?
Yeah. Because it's gonna determine whether or not you live past, you stay here past release.
Yes.
Enjoy.
Are you gonna put those nipples on Aloy, or is my next artist going to put them?
Oh. All right, let's go on to the next game release. I think we're done with WWE 2K22.
Hashtag it hits harder, or it hits different.
It hits different. So now we're going on to Square Enix's Stranger of Paradise Final Fantasy Origin. Haven't even heard a thing about this game.
So, okay. Stranger of Paradise Final Fantasy Origin is this new action RPG coming out next week. Square Enix, Final Fantasy. But Square Enix is actually not making this one. I believe this one is Team Ninja, who did I think they were the ones who did DMC.
Oh, no.
I could be wrong on that. But Shadow Warrior 3 is already out, buddy. That's for Zion in the chat. So,
All right.
Stranger of Paradise Final Fantasy Origin. It's action RPG, so it's real time combat.
Mhm.
You have different jobs in it, which is like an old Final Fantasy term for like what classes like you can play as. There's a bunch of them. Actually, the PlayStation blog has a really cool article on the different like jobs you can do in this game. If you want to know anything about this game and why I am really not excited for it, is watch the debut trailer for this that came out at E3 last year. Literally, this could be the greatest game on earth, but this is like when a bad trailer comes out and it just ruins the entire experience.
It looks like they did something about it because none of the trailer links are working on their website anymore.
Okay, but it's like, yeah, the original trailer, it's like these three people show up in this castle and they're there to fight chaos. And it basically became an internet joke because they say the word chaos about 50 million times in that trailer. Kind of like if you watch the new Doctor Strange trailer.
Yeah.
Where they say the word multiverse like 9 billion times.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like that. It's like, we're here to fight the chaos. I'm here for chaos. We're going to destroy the chaos. Chaos. And you're just like, okay, can we just stop the trailer? Just stop it. You know, like, all right.
Yeah.
But aside from that, it actually, gameplay-wise, it actually looks kind of cool. I might gamefly this one just to check it out.
Yeah. I mean, it does give me like a Devil May Cry-esque type gameplay.
I would say a little less hectic
than
Devil May Cry and more like, say, Final Fantasy VII Remake or even Final Fantasy 15 kind of stuff. But it does look cool.
Yeah. Visually, it definitely looks polished.
Yeah. Like
I said, Team Ninja does that a lot anyways. Like, that's their bread and butter there. Like, they know how to represent battles and combat, or I would say like close combat battles. Not necessarily a lot of like Rudy Tooty aim and shooty kind of stuff, but just really close up and mechanics that work out for games itself. But
so what Zion has in the chat here, it's DMC in the Final Fantasy world. That could be the case.
Yeah.
That very well could be the case. I would say with additional, like from what I've seen, just like watching some gameplay footage of it, with some more spell casting type stuff in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool, though.
Other than that, it looks cool. Like I said, this one's probably going to be a gamefly for me.
Yeah. All right, let's go on to. Is it rumor?
We have no rumor control.
Game news.
Oh, shucks.
No rumor control this week.
No rumor control.
I mean, we can make some up if you
want. Oh, hey, Joe. This just in, rumor control. Disney has purchased Rockstar Games, and Grand Theft Auto 6 is going to take place in the Magic Kingdom.
Oh my God, who'd you hear that from? What are your sources?
I have a guy who has a girl who has a bird.
Oh.
The bird flew around and heard about it from Walt Disney himself. Rumor. 50-50 chance that's actually going to happen.
All right. So I guess on that note, it's time for game news.
Zion knows facts.
All right, let's go on with the.
We need like an overlay. #fact.
Yeah.
And just be like, boom, there it is.
So it's time for more Evo news because we host Evo here in Las Vegas normally.
When it's in person.
Yeah. So it looks like Smash, the one of the most biggest fighting games on Evo at certain points
on planet Earth
is probably not going to make it over to Evo this year. And by probably, it means Nintendo for sure, right? So
Joe Dubs just went deep on that one.
What is it? GTA 6
doing rails off of Donald's Peak. It's like, whoa.
Yeah.
Put it down a little bit, Rockstar. Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, this was a Twitter post from Evo, and you'll see here it says, "We are saddened that Nintendo has chosen not to continue that legacy with us this year." So apparently this was Nintendo's doing. I don't know. Okay, if you've been watching us for a while, we talk about this every now and then. Nintendo doesn't do things like marketing well. Because if you say the top viewed fighting game at Evo every year is like Smash, either Melee or Ultimate, you would think you'd want that in the public face. Right?
I don't know. Maybe.
Or like when smaller time people try to hold Smash tournaments and they like cease and desist them. It's like, why would you deny your fans these games? Now, I don't think it has anything to do with the fact, and if you remember this like a year ago, Sony bought Evo.
You don't think it has anything to do with that?
I wouldn't think it would have anything to do with it. I think there's something else going on.
You know, that's the easiest thing to blame, right?
Or, as we know from leaks and stuff in the past, Sony likes to charge people for like crossplay on games, you know, because they're kind of dirtbags like that.
Right.
What if they're charging everybody a little extra to have their game in Evo?
Yeah.
And then Nintendo's like, screw you guys, we'll hold our own Smash tournament and clean up.
Well, Wasabi just posted a link here that Panda is doing some sort of partnership with Nintendo for Smash. So if that is true, then that's the alternative that they're going to get for this.
Could be.
But it is sad that it's not going to be part of some mainstream fighting community event so big, such as Evo, that it's just like kind of shunning Nintendo at this point. It's just like, why are you excluding something that clearly fits the category?
I don't know. Yeah, it's an odd choice. I mean, like I said, it could be because they want to hold their own Smash stuff, or it could be Sony's charging more, or it could be Nintendo and Sony don't like each other. We don't know. And Nintendo doesn't ever really like let things slip. So we probably won't ever know a reason on this. And this one's probably going to be up rumor control here in like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Daigo said because of whatever, you know, we're going to go,
But in the end, I always feel like it has to do with money and merchandising. Merchandising. 2 internet points for whoever gets that reference.
Yes. Joe Dub says Smash is being hosted by another fighting games event, but that's the thing. Smash is in tons of events, right? So it's like, to me, it's just weird that they bowed out of the top one in the country, you know? But
it's like you would think that Nintendo's mostly used to like shutting down smaller events and not really shutting down big events. But I guess this time they were all like, oh no, it's not going to work out.
It's unless Nintendo had to pay a fortune to get their game into Evo or something like that, which we know that Nintendo doesn't want to part with their money. But it's like, I would think it would be that. It would either be a fee they didn't want to have to pay or something else weird going on, because having your game in a fighting game tournament is just advertising. Like even somebody who doesn't play them could see it. Like, oh, hey, I went over to my friend's house and they were watching Evo and Street Fighter V was on and it looked fun. I think I'll buy Street Fighter V. It's just advertising at that, right? Which we're going to get to Street Fighter V here in a second too.
But we know that Evo is mostly I would say 50% of it is fighting games and 50% of it is trying to sell you sticks and merchandise.
Oh yeah, if you've ever been to an Evo, I've been to I think 3 of them. Half of it is you've got all your tournaments that are actively live going on, and then the other half of it is just storefronts, which is actually pretty cool. There's like lots of cool little stuff there.
Yeah, it's not that it's not quality stuff. It's just definitely feels like, dude, at the very end of some Evos, they are literally giving away sticks because they just don't want to pay the shipping to go back home.
That happens.
Yeah, a lot.
Yeah, Joe, you know, from us going to like CES in the past, or E3, it's like if you ever go to like a convention type setting, like a CES, an E3, a Comic-Con, an Evo, or any other kind of big, PAX or anything like that, I know most people are trying to get out of there, fight traffic, like get out early. Hang out on the last day towards closing.
Oh yeah,
because you'll probably walk away with a ton of free crap.
Yeah, they usually have their free stuff at CES and Evo at the very end because, again, they just don't want to pay for the shipping to ship all that stuff back in crates.
These companies pay so much money to ship their goods back and forth, and it could be across the country or across the world. I forgot where we were. It wasn't Evo. It was, or maybe, I don't know. It was some other fighting tournament that we were at where it was back when Mortal Kombat 9 came out. And if you remember,
we went to that.
MK9 had its own fight stick.
Yeah.
That was made by, I forgot who, like Hap or something like that. But it was like, they were literally throwing these at people just to be like, does anybody want one of these? Like, this is a $120 fight stick. Does anybody want this? And it was like, here, you just take them, because they would lose the $120 on retail, which it only cost them probably $30 to make the stick.
Yeah.
It would cost them $50 to ship it across the country.
Yeah. And not to take away from the manufacturing of those sticks, but they do look quality. It's just MK9 was such a specific fighting game that I think there was like some sort of configuration on those sticks that just didn't make it universal for other games as much. It
had the MK 5-button layout, if you remember.
Yeah.
So you're basically trapped playing Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, so it was like, it would be cool to have it, but it was be very specific layout for MK9. So I think that's when they finally realized, like, they're gonna sell as much, and we're already at the end of it. All right, so let's go on with some more Capcom related news, I guess. Well, it's related because of Evo, but Street Fighter.
This is kind of weird.
Why is
this
that?
one kind of came out of nowhere. So if you want to post the link in here, this isn't like a Capcom website. If anybody follows the fighting game community or watches Evo or any other big fighting events, you'll notice like one of the more frequent commentators or play-by-play guys, a call man, if you will, is his name's Ultra David. Mm-hmm. David Graham is his name. He's actually a lawyer in real life. Like that's his real job. Capcom redid their licensing agreement recently for Street Fighter V. And they included some text in there, which they made public. Like, they're not hiding anything from anybody. But basically, if you are going to be a fighting game tournament organizer of any level, this could be like the coffee shop down the street or Evo.
Sure.
If you want to play Street Fighter V, you now have to follow Capcom's guidelines, or they can cease and desist you.
Are there anything out of the ordinary for those guidelines here?
So this is where Ultra David kind of breaks it down. So like I said, this is his website. Like this is his business's website. And he went through it and he kind of translates the whole agreement just for anybody out there who doesn't understand it or anything like that. He actually does a really good job. But a lot of it involves payouts for winners. So like how much you're allowed to pay out people, like what your grand total can be, it can be limiting in some factors. And then also so for instance, I've actually had this happen to me in the past. You are not allowed to charge spectators to be at your tournament. So if I just want to show up and watch a tournament in the past, which I've been to a lot of fighting game tournaments.
That's a supportive.
Even at Evo, you have to pay to even get in the door to watch.
But does that mean that applies to Evo now as well?
It could. But knowing Evo's so big, they'll probably find a way around it. But it's like, or knowing Evo, they could say, well, you're also paying for the getting into all the exclusive retail booths that we have or something.
Right. Well, they can call it out like, spectators can be out here on the sidelines watching without paying, but if you want a seat on the grounds, like that's a fee for the seat, not spectating.
But for Street Fighter V, it's like you're not allowed to charge. Oh, you're not allowed to sell any Capcom or Street Fighter merch.
Here's the one that gets me. Capcom gets the right to use stream footage and any photos and videos from the tournament.
Wasabi, it's free. It's it's not like you have to register and buy a license from them or anything like that. It's free. It's just their kind of standards. It's their like EULA that you're going to be following. And if you don't follow it, then they can cease and desist you and say, kind of like what Nintendo does for like Smash tournaments. Say, you're not allowed to play our game at your tournament. Done.
Why limit the payout? Does that make sense to anyone? Like
it doesn't, or at least not to me. But then again, I'm not of this mind. Like I don't know this, right? So like this isn't my forte. You know, fighting game tournament organization.
I mean, I would think that to ask the question to David or maybe whoever might know, like you would think a bigger payout would promote your game even more. Zion 9 says, I think it's a Japan thing, like a regional law or something.
This agreement is actually, so the one that's on here, and I believe if you scroll down a little bit in there, this one is just for America, but they also have a similar agreement for Europe and South America, but I don't even know if there's one for Japan yet.
Or if they're different at any way, right?
Yeah.
Because they make it sound like it was completely the same for all those regions.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but it was just like a. I wasn't even going to talk about this, but I thought it was so weird that I was like, I might as well mention it because Street Fighter V is still a pretty popular game.
It's slowly dying for sure, but yeah.
It's popular. It is slowly dying. I wouldn't say like people are falling off. They're playing it because
there's nothing else.
Because the horribly designed Street Fighter 6 isn't out yet. You know?
Wait, you say horribly designed because of how Ryu looked? Is that what it?
Did you see that trailer?
Dude, he looks.
We were off last week, so we couldn't really talk about it because Joel had something he had to do. But it was like when that trailer came out, I was like, "What have they done?" Look, it was like Resident Evil 5 Chris Redfield put a bandana on. And it was like this freaking brick house of a person.
His torso was the same width from top to bottom.
It's like he's this just brick wall with a head, no neck. They didn't give Ryu a neck. I guess he's like too strong to have a neck anymore. Like he traded his neck for a pair of sandals. And I was like, this is the most ridiculous looking character design like ever. Like this to me is more ridiculous than E Honda having abs. It's like he is so wide now.
Look at this.
Yeah, like
this
is. I was just like, what are they thinking with this? I even saw a thing on Twitter where somebody basically like just basically kind of scaled him in a little bit, and it looked infinitely better. And they were just like, this is not like, he is not the Coltrane. He does not need to be this big, you know? Like, this is not like look at that. The little tiny head, and there's like, oh,
like he's never been Zangief level big.
That's what I'm saying. It's like Zangief, like if you look at Street Fighter 2, he's like, he has muscle because like, you know, he has like ripped sleeves and stuff like that. He has muscles. But it's like he's just getting wide and huge. And
he's like, Zion 9 does
Triple
have a
H. You know,
Zion 9 does have a point. Camera weight, you know, it adds 20,000 pounds.
There you go. There you go. It's like, but yeah, it just looks so nice. That and then also did you see the logo?
Which logo? Oh yeah, the logo looks like straight up tournament-y like style.
It's like. So somebody found it. It's this $80 Adobe like stock art, and it's just the SF with the 6 on it. So everybody was like, "Damn, Street Fighter has 6 notifications it needs to clear."
That sucks.
It's just that's why I'm saying horribly designed. I'm like the logo looks dumb.
So do you feel like this was just like
they just need to throw this character model away and just make him look like he did in Street Fighter 2 or 3. And just
it makes sense when you hide it behind cloth like this, right? Like, look at it. It doesn't look half bad because your brain is automatically thinking, oh, okay, this guy has some sort of torso behind that. And it makes sense. But then when you realize it's literally this, like
he's too big, man.
That's too much. I don't know anyone who'd gain that kind of.
Street Fighter does not need to be an army of Zangiefs all fighting each other.
Yeah.
You know, like
they're not brutes.
You have Zangief and you have Hugo. Like those are your big guys.
Yeah.
No, Ryu is just like
he's your
karate guy.
Yeah, he's your stock. Like barely like that's your model. Like this is where we start from.
Yeah.
But it's whatever, like, man.
This is awful. Whatever. Moving on.
Yeah. Let's move on to the next one. After this, we're talking about Pokemon Scarlet and Violet in the news. It's just been announced. So
this was announced earlier this week. I was hoping Mel was going to be on this show. She was caught up at work, so she's not going to be here because she is our resident Pokemans player.
True that.
I do not play these games at all. So, Joe,
nope.
You have 17 kids.
Nope.
So,
I did not expose them to the mods.
It's like every year or so, Nintendo releases 2 more Pokemans that are the exact same game with just like 1 or 2 different Pokemans in them, and they make a fortune. So, like, your kids are not on this train.
Look, this is a fandom.
Yeah.
None of my kids are Pokemon fans at all.
Yeah.
It's just a generation past them, and at this point, I'm starting to wonder who are Pokemon fans. Are we talking about 25 to 35-year-olds who were born in that era?
All of the Pokemon fans I know who buy it religiously every time, like they pre-order the second it's announced and everything like that. They are all 25 and up.
Exactly. So it has more to do with collection rather than enjoyment. It's not like you enjoy the same game over and over because thank you 2K games, thank you Madden, thank you all these other games that are just rehash of everything every single year. But is it like, what do you get out of it besides just collecting the hard copy and getting an extra couple of Pokemons? I would just like to know. It's almost the same thing, and I know I'm gonna hurt a lot of people's feelings on this one, and probably not a popular opinion, but it's just like the Zelda games. You know what I mean? I don't feel like.
Don't you say that!
Don't you fucking dare say that!
I'll kill you! Don't you ever...
Don't you make me realize things I've already thought for myself, but that never mentioned. How dare you?
How dare you, sir?
That's an 86 Honda. How dare you?
This is a 1986 Honda. How dare you?
Bro, can we just admit, what we remember is great. I'm not taking that away from you. But what you're buying now is just rehash shit. And it's just plastic and bits. That's all it is. You're not gaining anything more. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, one last alternate, comparison. Mortal Kombat. We love Mortal Kombat. We love Mortal Kombat 1, 2, 3, some people
9.
4.
No.
Okay, we'll leave that. But you see what I'm saying? It doesn't get any easier. You just keep on buying the same thing. Like I don't know if this movie did okay. It was a cash grab in my eyes. It did okay. I don't know if any of those characters are actually going to live in any lore, and they've already greenlit another Mortal Kombat movie. So it's just like, why? What are you doing?
It was so bad. Oh God.
Did you not hear our cries, or was the money louder than we?
Oh, the money.
Always.
The deal they got from HBO Max or whoever on that was that probably funded the next 4 movies.
Right. And because they no longer have to worry about cable company providers and all this other stuff, and everything's moving to streaming, they have more money to throw at more stupid things.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying Mortal Kombat was stupid. I enjoyed parts of Mortal Kombat, but it was mostly for just like some little interactions with the characters that were just okay.
No, that movie was terrible.
But yeah, so again, Pokemon Scarlet and Violet are arriving late 2022. It's announced. I'm pretty sure a whole bunch of Nintendo heads are screaming their butts off and just being like, oh my god, something else to put on my counter or bookshelf of fandom. It's almost, I compare it to Disney fans. You know what I mean? I compare it to that. Like, oh my god, a new Pixar movie's coming out. Totally got, and you know what the difference is between those Pixar movies? Is like they're actually kind of worth a damn. You know? But there are groups that are just like complete fans of that stuff. And I was just like, hey, do you ever question yourself? Absolutely not. Okay. All right. Well, I'm just going to go sit over here uncomfortably then. Yeah, it was good. But other than that, I mean, more Pokemon. Enjoy. I think that's what we say every single time we go to a Pokemon.
Every year. It's every year. All right, for all you Pokemon fans out there, just have fun. Enjoy.
Not shitting on you. Just question.
I'm a little shitting on them, but you know, whatever.
All right. So, speaking of things that probably shouldn't happen, Peacock has now put an order in for Twisted Metal series, I guess.
We actually spoke about this last year.
Yeah.
Because it was announced that it was happening. But now we have just a little bit more info. And it was like, it's going to be a 30-minute series on Peacock, action/comedy.
What?
And now we have Anthony Mackie involved because he's producing it as well. So he's going to produce and star in it. The same plot as we knew from last time, where it's like he's in a big thing is happening and he has to like deliver something across the country and then mayhem ensues. Yeah. And it's like, which it has nothing to do with Twisted Metal, the games. So like this kind of jumps on the same Mortal Kombat movie thing where it's like, this is going to be just another Mortal Kombat Resident Evil movie where they're just going to like pepper it with characters here and there. And it's going to have nothing to do with it.
And then you're going to have adults back in the 90s be like, oh, sweet tooth. Okay, back to the show.
I loved Twisted Metal's 1, 2, and 3. I thought they were all great games. But yeah, like I'm gonna be the guy just going like, that's not what happened.
Yeah. Okay.
That's not how that character works.
So do you see the correlation here though? Do you see the correlation between when's the last time a Twisted Metal game has come out that was worth a damn? Give me a close to date. Chat, if you can remember the last Twisted Metal.
Well, no, wait, hold on. The last Twisted Metal or the last one that was worth a crap?
Worth a crap.
Twisted Metal Black on the PS2.
And that was around
2000,
early 2000s,
2002, 2003.
Okay, Twisted Metal Black, and Wasabi Ice Cream agrees with you.
Yeah,
Twisted Metal Black, right? Mm-hmm. What's the last Twisted Metal that you remember? What's the last Twisted Metal that has come out?
Twisted Metal on the PS3, which it's literally just called Twisted Metal. Yeah.
Okay. So how old were you then?
Upper 20s.
Okay. If you want to tell us how old you were when you remember Twisted Metal Black.
And upper 20s. It was so the PS3 came out in 2007. It was a few years after that. Maybe I was upper 20s, early 30s when that game came out, and it was awesome.
So the correlation that I'm trying to make
was terrible.
Yeah. The correlation that I'm trying to make here is that franchises that were worth a damn back in the early 2000s and the late 90s are seemingly starting to make a comeback for producers and companies because they understand that the age group that they're now targeting, which will spend money, are 25 and 30-year-olds and 40-year-olds that remember these IPs in their childhood. And to see them being remade with, like, let's just say, what's the hype train that comes up whenever we talk about these things? Oh, it's a rated R movie. Oh, shit, so it's going to be good. That means it's going to be like how it was when we imagined Sweet Tooth decapitating people left and right, right? Like, so they tried to fit this into a demographic that they know they're going to hit and gain the money for. But yet their IPs have made no money since then for almost a decade or more.
Yeah, Twisted Metal is not the moneymaker it was back in the early 2000s.
Here's another example. What's that Nathan Drake movie that's coming out?
Oh, it's already out. I saw it 2 weeks ago.
And that game has been out. I mean, the last game was not even a dedicated Uncharted game. It was the spin-off, right?
Yeah, like it was a spin-off, The Lost Legacy.
Yeah.
Great game. But yeah, that movie.
What?
Oof.
Yeah?
Oof.
Tom Holland didn't sell it for you?
Tom Holland was horrible in that movie.
Yeah, Marky Mark didn't just do it for you? Did the two different generations of people bring it closer to you?
The only kind of math-wise here.
I know those words.
Drake and Sully, characters in the games, are like a good 20 to 25 years apart from each other.
Okay.
So are Tom Holland and Marky Mark. So you're
sense.
like, okay, that plays.
Yes.
It's just like when Tom Holland plays Nathan Drake, you're like, who are you supposed to be? Oh, I'm Nathan Drake. And it's like, no, you're not. Who is this? And then like Marky Mark, it's like they just said, okay, Marky Mark, you're popular and we're going to pay you to just be Marky Mark.
Yeah.
So his version of Sully is literally the same character he plays in every movie.
Right. But I think the thought process there was Marky Mark is a movie star of a different generation, and Tom Holland is a movie star from a different generation. And so how do we drive those people into the theaters or purchase this stream?
I completely get it. They're both popular. They pull audiences. I get it. I totally get it. But it's just one of those things where, okay.
Joe Dubs.
I saw the movie. Wifey and I saw the movie, and she doesn't know the games, right? So she was like, "Oh, that was fun."
Oh, so she's coming in with like completely clean slate.
She knows I love the games, and she's like maybe walked through the room as I've played it or something like that. She knows nothing about it.
Okay.
But it was like she was, oh yeah, that was fun, and I kind of take that opinion when I tell people about it. If you know nothing about Uncharted, you'll probably like the movie.
Right. It's like a Mission Impossible, right? It's there just for fun.
Movie.
Right.
It's like, I like a good treasure hunting action movie, right? Yeah. Don't get me started on how much I love National Treasure. Okay, like great.
Really?
Nick Cage, I love that movie. It's so good.
Wow.
But it's like, knowing Uncharted, it's like, I also describe like if you ever saw the sequel to Casino Royale, The Quantum of Solace.
Yeah. That was a good movie.
Yeah. It's a horrible James Bond movie. But it's a good action movie.
Right.
So you could say that about Uncharted. It's a decent action movie. It's just a horrible Uncharted movie.
I think you hit the nail on the head. It's like you're talking about two different demographics of viewers that would either you're going to capture the video game person or you're going to capture just the guy who's looking for a fun movie to watch.
Yes. Joe Dubs also is just speaking right to me right now about Nathan Fillion should have been Drake like 6 years ago in the movie. Yeah, Nathan Fillion did that fan movie. If you guys want to YouTube that, Nathan Fillion Uncharted,
good.
It's so good. And for anybody out there who's like, Nathan Fillion's too old, be like, okay, so it takes place after Uncharted 4. Solved. Okay, like Drake is retired and he's a little older now, but he gets pulled back into it.
But you didn't they didn't have to do the casting of like, hey, can we get a zygote in here or a newborn to play Nathan Fillion or Nathan Drake here? Like, why Tom Holland?
It's because he's popular, and I get that. I just wish that when they were starting the filming starting everything with Tom Holland, I'm sure he had to train up a little bit. I mean, he's already in great shape because of Spider-Man, but it's like for him to be doing stunt training and everything like that. So supposedly, there are pictures of this. Like he worked with Nolan North, who's the voice of Drake, right? So it's like, I would think that there would be a little more work done. Like, hey, here's how the scene plays out. Like here's how the scene is going to play out. And it's you walk through here, you do something, you talk to somebody. Nolan North does it, and then goes, okay, now Tom Holland, do what he just did. And then he goes, okay, and then he just does it like Tom Holland.
Do you think that maybe, do you think a percentage of that is also due to like the exact same situation as like, what's his name? Robert Downey Jr. playing Iron Man, where now everything that he plays outside kind of has to push against that because you know him so well as Iron Man and his persona that you kind of don't see him doing anything else. Because if you look at probably Robert Downey Jr. isn't always the greatest example of this, because like the Sherlock Holmes movies were really good in my opinion. The Sherlock Holmes movies were really good in my opinion, but I love the Sherlock Holmes movies. But I still felt like I was watching Iron Man Robert Downey Jr. try to play somebody else.
By the way, Joe Dubs has it right here. Uncharted felt like a movie about Uncharted, played by cosplayers of Drake and Sullivan. That's what it was, man. That's what I'm saying. It was like it was not, like I said, decent action movie, bad Uncharted. That's basically where I'll leave it.
But they win either way because it sells, right?
Yeah.
So just get ready, hold your ankles, and relax your jaw because Uncharted 2 is next year.
Oh, I know. Exactly.
Open them wallets.
Tropic Thunder.
Yeah.
Robert Downey Jr.
So now that we've gotten past Anthony Mackie, whatever. I enjoy Anthony Mackie as a good actor. I don't know if I can see him in a video game adaptation.
I've got nothing wrong with Anthony Mackie. Yeah. It's just I'm more upset about this weird premise of the show than anything. You know. But go on. Moving on.
Let's go to another classic here with I don't know if you've heard from John Romero in quite a while.
He's still doing stuff.
Yeah, he's still doing stuff. He's doing another freebie for what's going on now. Wow, it's a donation, right?
€5.
€5, and you're gonna get yourself a new Doom 2 level, unreleased Doom 2 level. And 100% of the proceeds are going to go to agencies that are helping out with the Ukraine war, Russia war effort that's going on right now.
Yes.
So that's cool. I'm going to put that link in the chats.
Yes. We are not going to go into that.
Yes, because we don't like to do politics or religion stuff.
We're not going to go into that, but we will say John Romero did a cool thing here. And if anybody wants to do any kind of charitable effort, you can have a free Doom or a Doom 2 level for chipping in somebody.
Yeah. Outside of that, that's where we're going to leave that. I don't want to get too much in that because I feel like it's just a fucking shit show of Storm right now. But whatever. All right, so we got some Valve news, and get ready because it's finally going to happen. Half-Life. No, I'm just kidding. We're just talking about Valve, Steam Pass, right? They're already like throwing off some buzzwords here.
Well, yeah.
So
go on.
So Steam is saying that they're open for Game Pass to be on Steam, but I'm wondering how that might look when they talk about this.
I have no idea how that would even work, but this just goes into like Valve's kind of like their mentality, right? Like this is basically how it's like, hey, Game Pass is a competitor of some sorts to Steam because people can subscribe to Game Pass and they would get the same game that they buy from Steam anyway.
Right.
And Gabe just goes, it's their computer. Let them do whatever the hell they want. You know, like if they want to use Game Pass to play games that we're not getting the money for, we'll get the money elsewhere.
So
you know?
This is like, what I would
how
hope.
It would work. I have no clue.
Yeah.
Like why they would even talk to each other. The only thing that would make sense would be like, so currently, and you know this because you're a PC Game Pass subscriber, but it's like if you have a game on PC Game Pass, like I'm going to say The Ascent, you and I can play it together,
right?
But can you play that with other Steam players who have the game? Usually not, right? Like, isn't it kind of limited to like Xbox players?
I think if the networking is outside of Steam's networking protocol, it still works because it's just utilizing offloading servers that aren't handled by Steam. Now, here's how I think this would work, and NVIDIA was a great example of this, which is one of the features that I love about NVIDIA's Cloud Play platform. If you have Steam account and the game exists on Xbox Game Pass, then now it's like, even if it's not part of Xbox Game Pass, now you have the paid access to that game because you signed in and you connected your Steam library with your Xbox Game Pass library.
Yeah.
And so now you kind of have like the ability to play the full game and whatnot without having to worry about where I'm going to play it. But again, it's just like, it's so confusing because some games are Steam specific and some games are just third-party games that are offered on Steam.
Yeah, so Wasabi puts in here, EA Play already works with Steam. It's totally possible. So yeah, and if EA Play already does this, then Microsoft would just kind of jump on that bandwagon, right? Like it would be the same whatever kind of setup. Like I would assume if you remember the trouble that we had with you trying to get into like Rainbow Six Extraction, because it's on Game Pass for PC, but it's also redeemed through Uplay. So it's like, I'm guessing it would work the same kind of thing. Like you would go to Steam and you would say, I want to play Rainbow Six Extraction. And then Steam would go, okay, do you want to buy it? And you go, no, I have Game Pass. And then it would just kind of pass that license along and launch the game.
So it would be the same thing. Like if it's not part of the Game Pass free games that they're offering you, but it's available on Steam and you make that connection between between Game Pass and Steam, then it would notify you that, hey, do you want to purchase this or do you want to play it off your Steam library? Because we see that you have it.
Yeah.
You know, just make it simple that way. So that way we're not dealing with 18 different launchers. Thank you. Good. What's the games? What's that service?
GOG?
Yeah.
Galaxy?
Yeah. GOG does a great example of this by just authenticating all your logins. We had
to cancel last week's show, and I was going to bring up this topic just for you because you always complain about too many launchers. That Bethesda killed their launcher and just said, everybody just go to Steam.
Good.
Yeah.
Because guess who actually went to Bethesda's launcher? Just Quake Champion users. That's it. Because that was the only way you can get to the game. And Quake Champions isn't exactly like, drawing in a whole bunch of people.
Wait a second. Hold on, Joe. Rumor control. Are you ready? Rumor control.
Okay.
Here we go. Bethesda stopped and said, everybody go to Steam, right? Now Steam is saying they're willing to work with Xbox Game Pass. Microsoft is buying Valve. Boom. There it is.
I mean, at this point, I want to see how many zeros that check looks.
50-50 chance that's going to happen. Hashtag facts.
Yeah. Hey, thanks, Retrobite, for following us. But, dude, how many zeros would that need to be?
I'm actually going to look that up. Hold on.
Holy crap, that would be so many zeros. And I bet you anything, Gaben would not even go for that. He already makes money just by being a platform. He doesn't need to make games. It's not like they're buying a really, active studio. I think Valve just released like a whole bunch of little micro games or announced a whole bunch of micro games for like VR, but that was about it. So it's not like they're buying a huge studio. They would just buy a platform that is gigantic. So I don't know how many zeros that would be.
Okay, look, I'm just going to put this out there. This is off of a 30-second Google search. according to just my 30-second Google search, which has no research done into it aside from me just Googling it,
So fast.
Valve is worth $3 billion.
How much was Activision bought for?
$67 billion.
I don't know about that. Bro, you're gonna tell me that Activision was worth more than Steam and Valve? No
Apparently,
way.
they're worth $3 billion.
No way, man.
That was a 30-second Google search.
I get you, but if we're,
that is nothing.
I think that
I
think that Google search is specific to just one division of Valve.
Could be.
Yeah.
Could be. I'm just putting it out there. I'm like, yeah.
That's crazy though. If they bought it, I at this point the war's over. Thank you, PC gamers. We've now moved over to Microsoft. Is it really a house that we weren't expecting to be under?
Which, by the way, speaking of Valve here, and before we get to our next one, do you know anybody who's on a Steam Deck yet or anything?
I know one person who has a Steam Deck, and they bought the 512 with everything. So they enjoy it, but they are a gamer group that is more along the lines of retro tinkering and trying to get homebrew stuff working on their thing. So he says it's amazing. He loves it. It definitely can work out as a PC gaming platform on its own. So if you wanted to get like an actual PC gaming like thing, you would just dock it and just put your mouse and keyboard on, and you're basically playing a PC game. You're done.
Did you and although this was released for the Steam Deck, but it's just open for anybody. Have you checked out that new Valve game, that Office Job?
Yeah, I saw the trailer for it. I haven't played it yet, but I thought it was very curious how Valve is making these all like.
I was definitely going to check it out because I heard they brought Cave Johnson back for it, and
what?
I was like, okay, I'm going to have to play it just for that.
Yeah, just to hear his voice.
Just to hear him yelling at people about becoming mantis people or something like that.
You know what's funny is that he has Cave Johnson's voice, but he would definitely pass as the professor in real life.
The professor from what?
So in Half-Life 2, the typical white guy scientist that walks around with the glasses, right?
Yeah.
Who has the pet head crab, Lamar. Yeah. So that character, if you look at that, I
totally forgot about that guy. I haven't played Half-Life 2 in so long. I always think of Alex's dad, Eli, or something like that.
If you look at the voice actor for Cave Johnson, in real life, he looks like the scientist from Half-Life 2.
Could be, yeah. He's the guy on those like farmers insurance commercials.
Yeah. But he totally passes off as that.
J. Jonah Jameson, bro. There you go.
Yeah. Spider-Man. All right.
So good.
So after this, we're going to go on to our last one. The big, huge story that you finally have something to play on Luna. Without paying for it.
We talked about Luna a little while ago. Like back when it was first announced, and it's been in an open beta for like the past year.
Yeah.
Amazon finally pulled the trigger and said it's out. It is out of beta. Use it. This is their Google Stadia, their Microsoft Game Pass. This is using AWS, obviously, because it's Amazon.
Wait, what? I thought they would be using Azure by now.
They're not on Azure or whatever Google's is.
They're not trying to sell their capability to their gamer fans.
I will double down on what I said last year when they first announced this. I still think this is, and I have not played this. I have not played this because I'm a Prime subscriber, like everybody. There are some free games to play on here. So if you scroll through their little catalog here, there are like free with Prime games. Not the most impressive catalog. They do have Flashback, which is a game I absolutely love, and I played it on the Sega Genesis. That's how old that game is. It is a good game, but I think without even knowing the quality or if it's a better streaming service than, say, Stadia or xCloud or anything like that, I still say if you're going to go cloud gaming platform, stick with a subscription model like these are.
So,
like Game Pass, whenever PlayStation Now or whenever PlayStation does Spartacus and they, jump into this arena as well.
Yeah.
Luna has a base fee, which comes with a number of games, or you can subscribe to any of these other channels, like a family channel, a Jackbox Games channel. Jackbox Games, great.
What
Ubisoft,
year is it now?
What's what?
What year is it now?
For a Jackbox?
No. Here's what I'm trying to get at. Mm-hmm. If you have ever been a subscriber, or your dad, or you were around the time when you were a kid and your dad was a subscriber to Prime Cable or Cox or Comcast or television of any sort,
I just got rid of that a couple years ago.
Yeah, this looks oddly familiar, don't you think?
They're even called channels, bro.
They're literally cable packages for your interactive games, and but as much as I hate this, again, I would still suggest, like I said, not talking about the streaming quality or latency or anything like that. I would still recommend this over Stadia 10 out of 10 times. Really? I mean, I totally get.
I have no faith that Stadia is going to be around in the next few years because Google is notorious for just killing things. In Stadia, you have to buy your games. You have to pay Stadia for its service plus pay $60 for a game.
Yeah.
This, kind of like Game Pass, you just subscribe to a service and then you play whatever's on that service. If it goes away, if Amazon says, well, we tried and it failed, we're closing down Luna at the end of the year, you're only out as much as you pay monthly. I
just don't see this being popular for a lot of people.
Yeah.
And maybe it's also the ignorance in me, because it's like, I know how to get stuff if I wanted to get them for cheap, right? But a lot of new families that are coming about to the digital age, they don't know any better, and maybe that's who they're trying to target, is because, look, you have a retro channel with games that you can literally get for a lot less than that. And not only that, but not have to spend $5 every month. Yeah.
Well, yeah. But yeah, I mean, like, I know people, I actually know people who cloud game, and they don't have gaming PCs. They don't have consoles. They play Stadia.
Do you think that their justification for having these services is just to do away with the complexity of having to set something up?
Yeah. And that's why they just don't want to have to buy or upgrade equipment all the time. So for them, they're fine with like the cloud gaming future that we're in right now. But for them, I will be the first person to say, hey, have you tried out Luna yet? And they go, oh, sure. Like, or I was going to sign up to a free trial or something like that. I was like, please let me know how the experience is, because I would still say for anybody jumping in the cloud gaming thing, subscription beats your digital ownership everything.
Yeah.
That's just me. Wasabi points out NVIDIA's streaming service has a free tier and you can use your own Steam library.
That's true.
That's true. We talked about this one a few weeks ago, actually, and we actually brought up NVIDIA Shield's like comparison, like their like pricing,
their tiers and everything. Yeah.
And I will say, if you're going to go Shield, which is a cool service, like I'm not saying anything about it, the free service is a waste of your time.
The free service is a waste of your time if you're going to be using that as your primary game service, because you're in a queue constantly. And if you get disconnected in any way because it is a portal to another PC, you're automatically tossed back in a queue. And usually those queues aren't too bad in high usage time frames, but like the other day I logged in to try to play something on Shadow or whatever they call it, the NVIDIA streaming, and it was like 65 out of 65, and I spent like about 30 minutes waiting. So the free tier is not worth it if that's your main rig, but if it's just for convenience, it's just like, it's great. It's great because they are including your Steam library, and if you are like, if you are like how we are, we have a huge Steam library, that we have yet to even play like 95%.
We have huge Steam libraries that we play every game.
Oh, everyone. We 100% every game.
Every game. Every game is already done. I'm out of games on Steam. That's why I'm playing Xbox right now. Mm-hmm. Because I have finished every game on my Steam library.
Yeah. But I mean, if remember about 5 years ago, we laughed at these kind of services because we didn't know like who and what was going to use it. But now we're starting to see that, yeah, the people who are going to use it are the people who don't want to deal with HDMI cables, network adapters. They don't want to deal with any of that crap. They just want to jump on and play. And it's smart, but I feel like it's just working off of a very specific group of people who are just not tinkerers. And maybe that's just being a lot more people nowadays. The game I play on Steam is buying the games that are on sale and never play them. Facts. I don't look, I play that game myself and I don't game on PC. Yeah.
That's how bad it is.
Yeah.
I don't even play PC games and it's like 12 games for $1 sold.
Okay, I specifically remembered when I did exactly that. Bethesda's Quake library for $4. Yes, please give me all those.
It's
Hexen. I never even wanted to play Hexen, but yes, give me all that.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's
such a waste of money sometimes, though. It's just like we justify it in such the weirdest ways.
But yeah, if anybody out there wants to mess around with Luna, let us know how it is.
Yeah.
Let us know in the Discord. Like I said, if you're an Amazon Prime member, it does have a selection of games that they even say they rotate out occasionally. Yeah. So kind of like Game Pass, it adds games, it removes games. PlayStation Now removes games, adds games, whatever. The only game I play on there right now is a Sega Genesis game. It's probably going to work fine.
Yeah. Wasabi says he used it in the beta, and I played Control on it. It was okay. I would feel like the biggest gripe that people have on the streaming service is just the reaction time between the controller and the game, right? Because you're literally passing through a controller input towards the internet into a virtual machine that then gives you that frame of what you reacted to. And so there's always going to be that lag until some crazy technology just fixes it, which I doubt it will be until way later. But aside from that, that's pretty much it for the show this week. I hope you all enjoyed it. We had fun talking about it, and we're going to be here next week, probably with Mel, working in some guest spots as well, coming in and combating, or better yet, having conversations with Clay about how he's wrong. So we'll see.
Which is good luck on that one. Joe, before we cut the show, can you cut back over to Cyberpunk real quick? It's
sure
very
can.
important. Very important updates happening right now.
All right, let's see. Where were you at? Mm-hmm. 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 Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yep.
What's happening here?
This lady had quite a lot to drink.
Mm-hmm. I see that we have a pretty good stream going.
Yep.
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 It's my. Okay, that's a little red tinted. Might want to take a look at that.
I don't want her to despawn again. I'm gonna see
how you know it's gonna happen. Oh my god. CD Projekt Red, you make quality stuff. Oh my god, is she all right? Dude, the fact that at the very end of this whole skiing thing, they kind of do like that little shake at the very end. It's just like, bro, what a level of quality there is here.
Yep.
Oh, there we go. Well played.
That's what you get the upgrades for the next gen for right there.
Indeed. So we appreciate everybody for showing up for this game news. We're Game News Live this week. We're gonna be here next week, same time, same channel. Hit us up on our Discord, and we'll We'll see you next week. Clay, you got anything you wanna give them?
Let's see. For the next week, hopefully I'll be playing WWE before then, so we can then talk about that. But I'm just kind of stuck in. Look, Cyberpunk, it works. They fixed it. It's good. Good on CD Projekt Red. Am I alone here? It's not the most exciting game.
It's definitely. It would have been an exciting game had it been working at the very beginning when everybody had the hype.
Yeah, it's like I'm playing it. I'm a few hours in. It's very. Yeah, it was obvious. It was never exciting, and I'm like,
yeah. Retrobyte says that they liked it.
It's not a bad game. Like I'm not miserable. I'm not just like, ugh, Cyberpunk. No, it's just like I was hoping for a more exciting game.
A lot of it reminded me of like Robert Space Industries game, and it was just hopping everywhere. People just standing on top of tables. It was just weird. But other than that, let us know on our Discord. Check us out on nerdjunkies.com/Discord. That's a direct link to our Discord. And we'll see you then.
All right.
By the way, Discord. All right, we're out of here.
Whatever.
Yeah, just show up on our Discord. We'll see you then. All right, see you next week. Bye.
See you, everybody. Bye.